People of the internet, welcome back to the Armbar arcade and welcome back to Tekken with Tekken 5. Now you might notice a few things are a little bit different this week. Let's address the elephant in the room. I have shaved. It was not of my own choice. There was something work related which I had to shave for. A dust mask needed fitting around my face, and apparently you can't get a dust mask fitted without shaving, so I have shaved. Not entirely happy about it, but we're going to celebrate Kemba Walker going to the Celtics with many Celtics gear for this Tekken 5 stream. And this is going to be the last Tekken stream because there's no other retro Tekken games. Tekken 6 is on the PS3, Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is on the PS3, and Tekken 7's on the PS4, so none of those are particularly retro, so this is the final. I know, Mike, I know I look so different. I look in the mirror, I'm like, who is this? Who's that? It wasn't my choice, that's all I'm going to say, but, you know, I grew up without facial hair, so it doesn't make a lot of difference to me. My chin is a little bit cooler, is about the only difference that it's going to make. But yeah, Tekken 5 is basically the first modern Tekken game. It's got the in-game currency of fight money to earn. You can customize your characters. You got a bit of a Tekken Force mode with Tekken Devil Within. You can play old Tekken games on arcade history. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Well, Mike, I hope your beard is going strong for the sake of my lack of beard. So yeah, let's start with Story Battle. I'm not entirely sure who's in Tekken 5, so let's have a little look. We've got 30 seconds to have a look. We've got Marduk, Law, Hwoarang, King, Raven. He seems pretty new. Asuka, Feng, Christy, Paul, Jack 5, Brian, Yoshimitsu, Julia, Lee, Jin, Kazuya, Zhao Yu, Steve, Nina and Lei. So basically everyone that we've seen before, apart from I think one or two. We're going to choose Asuka because why not?
Asuka Kazama. She was taught Kazama style martial arts by her father.
So I'm assuming she's Jin's daughter, but who knows with Tekken lore really.
Usually by knockout.
She seems cool. I think she rides a BMX as well, which is kind of awesome.
To find that an unknown man had destroyed the dojo and put her father in the hospital. A detective from Hong Kong tells her the man will be in the King of Iron Fist tournament.
So she's going to enter it and beat the man who beat her dad up. Cool. Well, that's some good story, Tekken 5. Forgive me for not being too invested in Tekken lore. I just like punching people.
Spirits, give me strength.
So our first fight is against Julia. We're going to see how Tekken 5 handles. Because Tekken Tag Tournament felt, I don't know, it was different. It was in between Tekken 3 and 4, which is exactly where the game came, but obviously I wasn't used to it. This feels pretty smooth, to be honest. It's a little bit different from Tekken 4. If anything, it feels maybe a little bit worse in terms of visuals, but I could just be not remembering how Tekken 4 is. It doesn't look great though, I've got to say, like, for the third Tekken game on the PS2, like, I suppose there's not much you can do on the PS2. You know, the graphics are what they are. There we go. Pretty easy first round. I've set the difficulty to medium because it's been medium for every Tekken game we've played, and it's been different. Tekken 1 was super difficult on medium. I think we had to put that on easy to even get past it, whereas these later Tekkens are just, they're not easy, but they're manageable on medium. So I'm pretty sure I know what I'm playing next week, which isn't going to be a Tekken game. But I'm open to suggestions for stuff to play in the Retro Lounge in the coming weeks, because obviously Tekken's been a bit of a go-to. So I haven't really had to think much about what I'm going to play, which is fun, but obviously we need to change it up a little bit, otherwise I'm going to become a Tekken streamer, which is fine, but I don't really have the skills at the moment to be a Tekken streamer. Although I have got better at Tekken, I've got to say, like over the course of this and playing a bit of Tekken 7, I say as I get beaten up. Yeah, I feel like I can take on any Tekken game now and not be terrible, which is an improvement from when we started. Secret Weapons over Normandy is a good shout. That's on the list. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to write it all down and
Get ready for the next battle.
hopefully execute all the games that I want to play. My PS2 started reading purple back discs as well, so I might get some, not Simple Series games, but those sort of, maybe Taxi Rider's a shout. Let's see if Taxi Rider works. I don't know if that's like a full stream's worth though. I played a little bit of Taxi Rider on a friend's PS2 and it's very Simple Series. You spend about 20 minutes on it and you're like, yep, this is the whole game. Nice. The old arm bars are working. Well, that was more of a Kimura, to be honest, I think. If we're going to be technical about these things.
Round 2. Fight.
Well, that's a good shout. I've got Vigilante 8 on the N64, so we could play that. I've never played it before, but that's never stopped me before. I've never actually played Tekken 5 before. Yeah, I think checking out some games that I've never played before is going to be a good idea in the Retro Lounge, alongside the classics. Like Secret Weapons is a really good game, and I know it's good. So maybe we'll do 1 week of stuff I don't know, 1 week of stuff I do know. I'm thinking next week maybe Donkey Kong Country 2, because I picked that up at the beginning of June, and I just haven't played it, so it's an excuse to play it, more than anything. Oh nice, so there's little cutscenes. I like it. So yeah, cutscenes in story mode is kind of brilliant because, like, I don't know, before you would just fight people and you'd be like, I don't know why I'm fighting this guy, but I'm trying to win the King of Iron Fist tournament, so, cool. Well, the thing is, I own several N64 games that I haven't played. I usually tend to pick up games in bulk, so either at boot fairs or maybe cons and stuff, so I'll pick up like 5 games at a time, play one of them, and then be like, oh shit, I've got a stream tonight, so back to Tekken. I reckon of my collection, I've played about 50% of the games that I own, which I know is pretty bad in terms of a percentage, but I've played and reviewed over 700 games, so that should give you an idea of what we're up against. Wow, Feng's a bit tough.
You lose. Final round.
We're going to have to step it up. It's weird though, we seem to be still taking damage even though we're blocking, which is fun. Maybe he's just doing crouch moves. Crouch moves always get me.
Continue. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, see, when we mentioned purple back discs, I was thinking Extreme Express. That's due for something. Whether it's a collab video or a stream, or it's got to be a beatdown, I suppose, if anything. It's not great, it's just an interesting idea. There we go. It was a good battle though. He had a chance there.
Round 2. Fight.
That triple sweeping crouch kick is pretty nice. Does a lot of damage as well. Nice punch to the face. Win. And more cutscene. Excellent. This is what I want from story battle. Like, if you're going to tell me a story, you better have some cutscenes. So she avenged her father within the first 4 fights.
Get ready for the next battle.
And now she's just going to have some fun.
Round 1. Fight.
So Jack's looking a bit hench, as he always does. I never really looked into Jack's story too seriously, but I assume with the numbers there's like a new sort of build of him every time.
Round 2.
But who's building him? That's the question. We're struggling here with Jack. He's reachy and does a lot of damage. And does Russian dancing, which is kind of interesting as a tactic in fights.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Nice, okay. I think crouch attacks are good here. But just not getting damaged is probably the name of the game. I'm moving backwards and just continually getting hit. I don't understand Tekken. I thought that was blocking, or do I have to just do nothing to block? Is that the secret?
Fight.
Okay, so it's literally do nothing to block in this installment. If you're moving backwards, you don't block. I don't like that. Not a massive fan of that. And we get hit enough.
You lose. Continue.
Get ready for the same battle. He does look a bit like Brock Lesnar. You have a point there, Nick.
Fight.
So I've got to kind of reconfigure my brain to... I was going to say to do nothing when I want to block, but even that didn't do any blocks. I don't understand you, Tekken 5. There we go. Okay, I sort of understand you, Tekken 5.
You win.
It's
Round 2.
it's not my favourite so far. I feel like doing a bit of a ranking of Tekken games, maybe on my blog, or maybe just a very casual ranking of Tekken games. But I feel like the early Tekkens, while very kind of technically sound, suffer from some difficulty issues. Great. Like Tekken 4 and 5 are almost there. I haven't played 6 yet. Tag Tournament 2 feels a lot like Tekken 7 in some ways. But this feels like the start of the modern Tekken games. It's got a lot of the features of modern Tekken games. Yeah, Tekken Master Post, if you will. I have reviewed some Tekken games before. I think I've even reviewed Tekken 5, which I don't know how, because I feel like I've never played it. But I have, apparently.
Round 1. Fight.
But even if I just review Tekken 7 and then at the bottom kind of put my thoughts of other games. Yeah, the blocking is different. I don't know quite how, but the blocking just... When I feel like I should be blocking, it's just doing absolutely nothing. It's fine though.
Round 2.
We'll get through this.
Fight.
We'll get through this with uppercuts and crouch kicks. I mean, Asuka's got a pretty good moveset, I'll give her that. Come on. Yes. Okay. It wasn't that hard in the end. I don't know why we struggled.
You win.
Should you really be doing that, Asuka?
Get ready
Should you?
for the next battle.
It's Brian
Round 1.
in his garden.
Fight.
And now he's lying down in the garden. Have a nice sleep there, Brian. Okay, I thought we were going to struggle there. Like, I started off really well and then it just went downhill.
Round 2.
There might not be enough content in Paris-Dakar Rally for a stream. I don't know. Like, I'm not amazing at rally games, so why are you just spinning without kicking anyone? Nice. Nice. Okay.
Final round.
I wouldn't mind streaming a rally game if I was feeling it. Yeah, the distance just feels a bit odd in this game. Like, running attacks feel stronger than they should be. And like, moving away just feels like it isn't as effective as... Why are you just spinning? She's got a move where she just spins and doesn't attack.
Get ready for the next battle.
Come on!
Fight.
Yeah, what is that? Is it like a grab, or is she just trying to... I don't know. Right, we'll try not to use the spinny move. Attacks feel like they do more damage in this as well. Like, everyone's health bar is just getting absolutely decimated. And like, I haven't changed it off the default settings, so like, that's kind of weird. I mean, there's a good amount of content in Tekken 5. Like, there's... The list of modes is exhaustive, and like, you can play arcade modes of old Tekkens, but... V-Rally 99 on N64, that's a good shout. I don't think I've got it, but... I've got Top Gear Rally on N64, but obviously that is not the same game. I've got V-Rally 2 on Dreamcast, and I think V-Rally 3 on PlayStation. But I'd definitely be up for some rallying. And Colin McRae, yeah. I think, did I ever stream a rally game? I feel like I might have once streamed some rally. Maybe. But I'd be happy to do so again. We'll just choose something that everyone's feeling. I'll probably open it up to the Armbar Arcade Discord. And, oh, we're fighting Yoshimitsu now, and he looks terrifying in this game. He's got some samurai get-up going on. Why does she just spin? It's like one of my go-to move combinations, and it does absolutely nothing offensively. Like, Yoshimitsu's such an unconventional fighter as well, it's kind of hard to gauge what he's about to do. Nice! Armbar KO. That's the point. I did stream Revolt. Revolt's good, but like, I'm not very good at it, so there is that. I try not to stream too many racing games, because obviously Hot Race Car Nights is racing games, so I don't want to encroach. What might be cool is Stunt Grand Prix on Dreamcast. That's a good game. And something I can now do is emulate Dreamcast games on my PC, so we don't even have to worry about the Dreamcast being slightly broken.
You lose. Final round.
Yeah, True Crime's a good shout as well, actually. True Crime New York City is one of my kind of favourite underrated open world games, because it took a lot of cues from San Andreas, but there were things you could do in that, obviously being a cop, that just you couldn't do in San Andreas. And there was a big variety of weapons. And we're just getting absolutely owned while I'm talking about True Crime New York City, but it's fine. But he had like ice picks and axes, and you could just chop people's heads off and use them as a weapon, and it's like, I enjoy the experience of being able to do that. Whether or not it's kind of morally a good thing to do is questionable. Why is your moveset so unconventional?
Round 2.
He's just never quite where you expect him to be. Instead of attacking where I was, you should have attacked where I was going to be. Little Futurama reference. And that's the end of that.
Continue.
Ah yeah, the debug menu in True Crime New York City, you can just open up and be like, give me all the weapons, or completely break the game, in some cases. Ah yeah, and I know about the patched version of Revolt, because I have a friend who plays Revolt, and I think reskins cars for Revolt as well, the PC version. But I might look into getting stuff set up to run on my PC, because I can run quite a lot of things on this new PC that we couldn't previously, so PC games are kind of not off limits anymore. I was thinking of maybe an Age of Mythology stream, because I got that recently and it's pretty great. And it's also technically a bit retro, because I had it back in the day. I know it's a new version of Age of Mythology, but it is technically retro, so we could have that all up in the Retro Lounge. A bit of RTS action. Ha.
You win. Final round.
One more round, we got this.
Fight.
We just got to play sensibly. I know it's a lot to ask. Especially against Yoshimitsu. Like, playing sensibly is the most terrible idea against Yoshimitsu.
You lose. Continue.
So I think stage 8 or 9 is going to be the last stage, if like, because Tekken games don't really go to 10.
Fight.
So we're nearing the end of this story mode. It hasn't really been too long, it just feels like it has. Because like Tekken Tag Tournament story mode went on for like at least an hour. I can't remember what fight we were struggling with, but there was one. It's like we get so close to winning and then we just throw it away.
Fight.
You just can't grab him. He's just ungrabbable. Like, our grab moves are good, but maybe we can just chain grab moves. That's probably a strat.
You final round. Fight.
How come he's got a lightsaber? That was bound to happen.
You continue. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Yeah, that was a weird thing with True Crime New York City. Not only was it slightly broken, you had this like corrupt cop mechanic. So like, if you became a bad cop and started shooting people, like the police would come after you. So like, you were a cop, but then the police would come after you. But then you just had to do some like beat patrol. Like, you could murder people, and all you'd have to do is like a bit of street work, and they'd be like, "Yeah, you're fine to go back out there now." Which is kind of odd, because like, you think they'd be concerned with you murdering people. But we've just murdered Yoshimitsu, and no one's put us on beat patrol.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
Nice. Okay, I think we figured out Yoshimitsu. He's just kind of unconventional moveset man. Some of his moves do a lot of damage as well, so... Although we lost that round, I'm pretty confident here.
Round. Fight.
Nice. Grab move. Jump back. Oh. This guy, man.
You lose. Continue. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1.
If only Jason was here, he'd have some strats for me. Win the fight is probably the best strat we could suggest at this point. I mean, that was some pretty cool stuff. Nice! That almost looked like I knew what I was doing. If there was ever a time to clip something from Tekken, that was probably it, because that's going to make me look like I'm at least competent. When really, I have no clue. Nice. Come on, Nay, don't mess this up. It's a win. Yeah, True Crime New York City had like a big amount of glitches for the size of the game. It had loads and loads of glitches. Like you could literally go into a doorway and then you'd only be able to see your eyeballs, and they'd be like, "Why has the game done this?" And the game's just like, "I don't know, stop loading, dude."
Round 1.
I haven't played a huge amount of Black Mondays. My only kind of reservation with doing a getaway stream. But then I suppose we did do the combined getaway stream back in the day. Come on, Wang.
Round 2. Fight.
Got some shamisen going on in the background. Classic Enka. I don't feel like we did too badly. I know we lost, but I just don't feel like we did too badly. Good evening, Vic. How's it going? Yeah, I had to shave for work. It wasn't a choice, but you're right. I do look different. But I'm still playing Tekken, so that's the same. And I'm still playing Tekken badly, so that's also the same. If you let me get up, mate, maybe we can fight.
Round 2. Fight.
Yeah, this guy's annoying me already, like. Like I say, the blocks are slightly different. I don't know what's different about the blocks, but the blocks are different in Tekken 5, so I'm having issues with blocking. The distance is different. I don't know. Take me to Tekken 7. Just take me straight to Tekken 7. You just can't grab him. Like, the grab moves we were getting against Yoshimitsu, we just cannot do here. I do continue, yes. You continue?
For the next battle. Round 1.
Let we go. We've got to beat this Wang. Which is apparently something you can't say on Twitch. Or at least you can't do on Twitch. Yeah, the start of GTA 3 is not a bad shout. That's pretty classic, doing the missions for the Mafia and whatnot.
You continue. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
We've got to work out a strat for this guy. Uppercutting him? That's actually kind of... It's working. We've just got to pick our moments to uppercut him. Nice.
Round 2. Fight.
It's weird, like, Tekken's idea of medium difficulty just seems to be absolute difficulty fest. And maybe it's just me, but if you play the game on medium and you just could not do it, then it's a little bit too hard. Like, his combos are absolutely killing us. We get hit by one thing, we get hit by absolutely everything. And her spinning move isn't helping. Like, she doesn't even kick on the end of it, she just spins.
You lose.
Right, we're going to give him 2 more tries. And then we might have to admit slight defeat. Because I want to show you the other game modes as well. And like, it literally would be this for half an hour. Even when we're winning, we're losing. Like, what's going on?
Round 2. Fight.
That's it, armbar him.
Continue.
Right, last chance.
Get ready for the next.
We can do this. I feel like we can do this. We just have failed to do so on every given opportunity so far. I feel like dodging is very important in this one. If you get hit by any of his attacks, you're basically dead. Oh, the tiniest sliver of health. And he does that.
Round 2. Fight.
So we're going to check out some other game modes.
8, 7, 2. Game over.
But it's good to see that story mode, they've added some cutscenes, they've added some proper interest to the story. I think it's time to check out Tekken Devil Within mode, which is a 3D action adventure game where Jin learns more about his past. Is it just Tekken Force mode though? Probably. Yeah, Wang was just a Wang. He was a dick. That's what he was. Maybe that's why I like Tekken 7. There's just no characters that do that sort of thing to me. Anyway, this is looking like Silent Hill now. They could have sold this as DLC if it was modern day. We'll go on medium. Like, I'm not going to play on easy. So we got maps, we got special moves and lock on and different stuff. Cool. The Jin's kind of searching for the meaning. And it's time to get 3D. I mean, we're already in 3D, but like proper 3D. Oh, it feels interesting. It's a better 3D than Tekken Force mode, but in a different way. We could just do a pacifist run and run past everything. We could just fall down here. So we're going to fight some robots. I think you earn fight money for playing in this mode as well, so we might have a chance to customize some characters later on. What's this? There we go. If in doubt, destroy some stuff. Might just run past these dudes. What's the worst that could happen? That's quite a cool effect. For the PS2, I'm kind of impressed with that spawning in effect. It's weird because like this isn't Tekken as it was intended, but to be honest, I'm kind of like happy to have a separate mode. And there's Jack as well. So they put some of the opponents in this mode. That's very cool. It'd be cool if it kind of went into a 2D like actual Tekken style fight, but I'm happy either way. Okay, attack doors to proceed. Feels a bit Sonic Adventure 2 at the minute. One of the sort of metal Eggman bases. Punch a door. That's just how I go through all doors at home. I just punch them. I'm like, I want to enter this room. Smash. And the good thing is it's not timed like Tekken Force mode, so you can kind of have a little explore. Alright, so that's spawned some enemies for us to beat up. To be fair, the enemies aren't really doing much. It's a bit like Streets of Rage. They're just kind of standing there, and then when you don't focus on them, they're like, hey, let me attack you. Now, where are we going now? Back through here? I am confused. So that's still blocked off. Is there anything we can do to these crates? No. Okay, I'm lost. Might have to backtrack a little bit. Is there anything we haven't investigated? This door, for instance. No? Oh, he can jump. Right, well if we can jump, then there's some stuff we can go and look at. Like this box. Oh, we nearly got there. That's it. Hooray, we're over. Can we jump attack? Sort of. It kind of left us very vulnerable. Other than that, though, it was great. Man's just blocking. That's one thing that I kind of wish beat 'em ups didn't have. Like, when you're focusing on someone, they just don't attack you, but everyone else seems to want a piece of you as soon as you focus on anyone in specifically. I get it's kind of a beat 'em up thing, but all this camera angle's weird. Like, Streets of Rage has it too. You just be trying to beat someone up and someone will be like, hey, I've got a crowbar here, do you want to have a taste of it? It's like, no, not really. I dare say the controls are better in this for actual fighting than the Tekken mode. Which is kind of interesting. Like, how much time did they spend developing this compared to the main game? We're just going to skip half of that section, because why not? We've got some guys that need beating before this door opens. Also, I think the health regenerates a bit when you beat people, which is cool, because obviously you need a fair amount of health to beat up lots of robots. Almost feels a bit Yakuza in the way that you're sort of throwing people about. Oh, Jack's here. I thought we'd beaten everyone, but apparently there's tons more enemies. There's 2 Jacks. There's 2 So we're getting kind of low on health, but I don't really know what to do when I'm low on health, so we're just going to carry on. Is the door going to open? Yes. Cool. Still low on health though. Can we get through the door? Yes. Go, go, go. If it's not locked, we're not fighting. So that doesn't want to open up just yet. It does feel like a Yakuza battle. Which isn't a bad thing, like Yakuza's got some really dope battles. Alright, so we press the access thing. Which I guess means if we go back over here, we should be able to get through. Pacifist run, going fairly well. I don't want to fight. The music could be a little bit less repetitive, I guess. Like, they know you're going to be in this mode for a while, so having more than a 2-second loop would be great. How do we regain health? Or do we just not? Because I know we've regained some health, somehow. Might be something to do with these crystals, not entirely sure. We're just going to keep beating on fools until we can't beat no more. Which should be soon by the looks of things. Just going to destroy the foundations of the building. Because you should always do that. When you're in a building, just destroy the foundation, see where it gets you. Usually trapped under rubble, but you know. So we're coming up on a locked door here. Guess we're going to have to beat everyone up. It's weird, like you would have thought the Jacks would act more like mini bosses, but they're just kind of easy to beat. They're only like the robots that we've been beating up anyway. If not easier, because they're bigger. Just spawn straight into my throw move. I have no issue with that. And that's that. Game over. Well, we did some stuff. We'll return to the Devil Within title because we've got more modes to explore. How do I quit this? Right, there we go. It's a game within a game. Which is kind of cool when you think about it, like including basically a full game within your game. I mean, obviously, the more recent Yakuza games have done it with arcade stuff. They've had like Virtua Fighter 5 and Fantasy Zone and that in there, which is cool. Let's check out some arcade history. This is the arcade version of Tekken 1. See how it holds up, because we did play Tekken 1, so we know what Tekken 1's supposed to be like. Can we just start, please? Love it when games have menus where it's like, yes, no, no, yes. And you're like, can we just do it?
Good morning.
It's alright, Nick. Get to Judgment in your own time. It's very good. It's basically Yakuza 7. But it's a refreshing change up to the series. Wow, this looks terrible. I don't know if this looks terrible on your screen, but on my screen this looks absolute trash. But yeah, I highly recommend playing Judgment if and when you can. It takes many cues from Yakuza, but also is a nice change up to the series, because, you know, you can only be Kiryu for so long. Yeah, this plays just like Tekken 1. Because it is Tekken 1. I'm glad it's as bad for you as it is for me, because it looks like trash. Why would they include... I mean, actual Tekken 1 didn't look this bad. What have you done to it, Namco? It seems a bit easier as well. I don't know if it's just me, but we were not blasting through Tekken 1 in this manner. I know people might have nostalgia for arcade machine CRTs, but like, I've never understood the sort of, oh, put it in CRT mode sort of options that old games or like re-releases of games tend to have. It's just like, why don't you just emulate some screen burn in there as well? You know, have the main menu basically visible throughout every single part of the game. Because that's the real arcade experience. So yeah, that's basically... How do I exit this? How do I exit this? How do we go back? Okay. We can do a polygon test. Have I found the debug menu in this as well now? Please, Mr. Namco, I've had enough Tekken 1. And now Paul's trying to hump my leg. Please, Paul. Please. How do we exit? Game options? So we can change the I mean, I might just have to reset the PS2 here. One moment. So yeah, we had no idea how to exit that. Come on, PS2, read the disc. Read the disc. So yeah, no more old arcade versions because they just look like trash. We're going to choose a different person to go through story mode with. And, okay, so there's always a little arcade game before Tekken games start up. I think this one's like... I don't know what it's called, but it is a game. It looks a bit like Star Fox, but obviously it's not because that's a Nintendo property. Anyway, enough of that. I love a bit of screen burn like that, Mike. That sounds brilliant. I have just realised that I still haven't implemented the chat, so anyone watching the replay of the stream will have no clue what I'm kind of replying to, but that's fine. We're going to go with Steve because he's very spammy, so hopefully if we get stuck we can just punch people.
Steve Fox.
Steve Fox, a box.
Get ready for the next
That's the story. It's Yoshimitsu time. He's looking a bit different.
Round one. Fight.
Oh, nice. The absolute punching.
You win. Round two. Fight.
Yeah, Steve's punch combos are just the spammiest thing ever, but it's great because you win.
You win. Get
Might be
ready
harder
for
to
the next
execute them
battle.
later on, but it's worth a try.
Round one.
It's weird how many of my favourite characters were kind of from very recent Tekken games, like Lucky Chloe's from Tekken 7. I think Bob's from either 6 or Tag Tournament 2. I think he's from 6. Shaheen, I think, is recent. Like, all of my mains are just not in these retro games, so I end up playing as loads of different people to try and get through their story modes.
Round two. Fight.
Come on, Steve. Oh, that punch is absolutely deadly. What you got, Hwoarang? Knocked out is what you got. Punch Master Steve is here.
Get ready for the next battle.
Like, I don't really like Steve as a Tekken character because
Round one.
if you're playing against someone as him, it's just like, I don't know, some cheap losses will occur. But at the same time, playing as him is hilarious because some cheap wins will occur. I mean, what is that? No Tekken character should be able to do that.
You round two. Fight.
Steve's like, if you press the punch button enough, you just will win. At some point, you will just win.
You the final round. Fight.
Okay, maybe we will have to start timing things a little bit.
Get ready for the next battle. Round one. Fight.
Punch him in the kneecaps. Kneecap him. I forgot about grabs as well. We could even do grabs.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
We could just do grab after grab.
You win.
Hey you wanna try me, Gov?
I wish his accent wasn't like that.
Get ready for the next
That's one
battle.
thing I do wish about Steve, that they just didn't do that with him. Hey Gov, you want to try me, Gov?
Steve, you're in the tournament?
Yeah. You hear about the guy who trashed
That
that
dojo? Did you hear about
Yes,
the
he's
dojo?
a very dangerous fighter. I need to warm up. You up for some sparring?
You're on, mate.
We're on.
Like, where's Steve from? Australia? Britain? Who knows?
Round 1. Fight.
South Africa? I think he's supposed to be British because he said governor, but like, no one says governor. That's one of like the sort of classic things that people who aren't British will say to try and appear British, and you're like, yeah, no one says gov. Like, literally no one. It's all about boss man.
You lose. Round 2. Fight.
Yes, boss man. Stop, he's already dead.
You win final
This
round.
is some banging music as well, actually. I'm liking it. Oh, wow. I was expecting that to happen.
You lose. Continue. Get ready for the next battle.
Kind of wish I could play Tekken 7 in the Retro Lounge, because I've got everything figured out with distances and blocking and whatnot. It just feels like I'm relearning a very similar game when I play different Tekkens. I'm like, I sort of know how to play this, it's just everything has changed very slightly.
Round 2. Fight. You lose. Continue.
Oh, I don't like Steve.
8.
What we're going to do,
Game over.
we're going to concede defeat on medium difficulty, because things be hard. Ultra hard, wow, yeah, that's not going to happen. We're going to stick it on easy, because I want to complete a story mode, to be honest. There's no shame in playing on easy.
King of Iron Fist Tournament 5.
Let's choose Raven. Let's play through Raven's story. Why not?
Codename Raven.
Codename Raven.
Get ready for the next battle.
It's useless to resist.
That's a cool hoodie.
Round 1. Fight.
So I've never played as Raven, as far as I know. He's pretty powerful. Wonder if we can fall off this stage. That would be cool. kind of Dead or Alive style. That's a game series we could play on the Retro Lounge. I've got several Dead or Alive games. They're pretty good. They're not as good as Tekken. There we go. First round's always easy.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
I'm wondering how we can maybe fit Shenmue into the Retro Lounge. At some point we might have to fit Shenmue 2 into the Retro Lounge because I've been meaning to play it, I just haven't had much opportunity. But it's one of those games where, like, if people aren't around for a stream, then so much will have changed by the next stream, it might not be worth it.
You win. Round 2.
We might just have to do like a 10-hour stream at some point. Why is there a car dangling? Like, there's just a van dangling from the ceiling. Fun fact though, when I saw The Prodigy in 2009, 2010, they dangled an ambulance from the ceiling, as in Take Me to the Hospital, their song. So yeah, that is a fact for you.
Get ready for the next battle.
Ah, Marduk. We haven't seen much of him, but he's here.
Get your cameras ready, folks. This ain't gonna last long.
Round 1.
It's not going to last long, but it's because you will be defeated. Oh, boom.
You win. Round 2. Fight.
There we go. Can you imagine me doing a 24-hour Shenmue stream? Because I can't. Not only would I fall asleep because... Not because it's boring, but just because 24-hour streaming is like that. I don't know, I feel like Shenmue's best experienced over a kind of short course of time, but with big play sessions. Kind of like Yakuza games, like you sort of forget what you're doing otherwise. Steve, do you mind? I'm trying not to lose on easy.
Round 2. Fight.
I swear it's this stage. This stage is what's doing it to us. Like, we fought Wang on this stage and it was absolute ridiculousness, and now Steve's being a ridiculous dude on this stage as well. Man's just spammy. Like, you just try and do a Hadouken. That's your punishment, Steve. Double KO. Well, that's the second double KO of these Tekken streams.
You lose. Continue.
Now, the ambulance was on stage, Nick. I get your Prodigy reference, but the ambulance was on stage. So we weren't under its wheels in no time. To be fair, I was kind of glad to have seen The Prodigy November last year with with Keith Flint's passing. Like, obviously we didn't know at the time, but I just thought, oh cool, I'll go and see The Prodigy again, and then it was basically like my last chance to see them in London. Very cool show, that one. Come on. Come on. Yeah. No. Yes. I think we got him. I think we got him, lads. We did. We got him. Somehow.
Round 2. Fight.
But yeah, there were no ambulances on stage in the last time I went to see The Prodigy. It was only at Warriors Dance Festival on my 18th birthday. Back in the day. Almost, yeah, like 9 years ago now. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Bass Steve.
Fight.
Have your face stamped in. You'll be under my boots in no time. Oh, we put on an absolute masterclass there.
You win. I'll see you win.
Yeah, I went to see Baby Metal last night. They were good. They were good. They weren't exceptional or anything. I mean, like, I was impressed. The sound at Brixton is a little bit kind of muffled sometimes, and it did kind of suffer from that, being very kind of deep, down-tuned heavy metal. But then again, I saw Kvelertak there. They had 3 guitarists back in January, and their sound was perfectly clear, so I guess it depends on the sound man as well. Thanks, Christy. Cheers. Yeah, it's weird. It feels like something's different in Tekken 5, and I just cannot put my finger on it, but sometimes you just get absolutely owned. It's hard to stay consistent, which is fine, but at the same time I kind of like to have a strategy and a game plan that works. Maybe I'm just terrible at Tekken 5. We could just let Jason be the Tekken 5 master, and I'll stick to being the Tekken 7 master. Why not? I'm not even the master of it, I'm just like, not terrible. We did beat Christy though in the end, so pros and cons. Time to break the law. Get it? So we're fighting in some sort of treasury, I guess. There's lots of gold about. It's like man's a pirate. Loving the face stomp move. Nice. We're back on a roll. Oh, that kind of sucks. Need for Speed Most Wanted is great. Like, it's my favourite Need for Speed from back in the day. Obviously, the Run is kind of my favourite Need for Speed of all time because it balances modern sort of Need for Speed feels with a trip through America, a decent enough story, and like the racing's great, but Most Wanted's probably what I've sunk most hours into. Aha, it's bike. On your bike, mate. It's weird, I was looking at the Tekken wiki the other day, I didn't realise quite how many characters there have been, like, because Tekken 7's got like 30 something characters unlocked from the start. But like, there's literally like 60, 70 Tekken characters that have been in all games. It's mad. What they need to do is make like Tekken Anthology and just make every single character playable. Can you imagine like the 70 character battles? It would probably be really, really unbalanced because obviously trying to balance a 70 character game is just ridiculous, but let us do it. Yeah, I am talking about Most Wanted 05 when I say Most Wanted. I played Most Wanted 12, but it's got this thing of like finding cars, so instead of buying cars and doing them up, you just find them at the side of the road and then you do races to do them up. But like, if you find a car, you can drive it, and I'm like, so you don't have to unlock anything? And the game's like, no, we just give you cars basically, and it's like, oh, great. That was terrible. Pay no attention to what's happening on screen. Just close your eyes and listen to the dulcet tones. Or the tones. Let's not kid ourselves here. Did Bug just get harder? Like, the first fight we weren't even really struggling, we just were a little bit unlucky, but now he's kind of leveled up somewhat. He's very spinny. I don't like fighting against spinny characters. I like playing as spinny characters. Like Lucky Chloe in Tekken 7 does a lot of spinny stuff. It's just so easy to get people caught up in your spinny moves. It's a shame Bike wasn't unlocked because we should have played as him. That being said though, I think we can do this. We've got to complete at least one story mode on stream, otherwise I'm going to be kind of disappointed, because we've completed, I think, a story mode in every Tekken we've played, so correct me if I'm wrong. Mistimed my kick there.
for the next
For some
battle.
reason, today has literally just been me almost beating people and then getting absolutely owned when they've got like a sliver of health left. And I don't know why. We're just not good in the clutch scenarios today. And for that, I apologise. He's doing spinny moves, but none of them are hitting. There we go. That's a lucky Chloe style move if I ever saw one. And we got a great. It was nearly a double KO, but we got a great.
You win round 2.
Yeah, to be fair, like Underground 1 and 2 are great selections. I think Underground 1 kind of suffers from the fact that every race is selected from a menu. Whereas obviously Underground 2 has the whole free roam thing, which makes it feel a lot more like a modern racing game. Are you quite done, Bike? Are you quite done? Yeah, you're done. You're done, son.
You win.
I don't mind what he has to say.
Get ready for the next
Ah, Hihachi, how you doing, son? Well, not son, dad, I suppose. It's more story.
What? You
What?
died in that explosion.
So Hihachi isn't dead. At the start they were like, Hihachi's pretty dead. Well, no he's not. I knew this because I played Tekken 7 and he's still alive, so you know. So man was just trapped under some rocks for a few weeks, that's fine. Didn't you start this tournament? I'm sure Raven didn't start the tournament.
Unexpected situation has arisen. What are my orders?
Remain calm. We've confirmed the situation. Eliminate him. Over.
Understood.
I wonder what happens if you play through as Hihachi. Does he just see himself? He's like, I thought you were dead.
round 1.
Well, I thought you were dead. It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're just pointing at each other. Oh, Hihachi's absolute, like, unfairness and on a plate. Then again, so's our moveset. We've got a chance.
You lose. Continue.
Okay.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
Oh, he blocked our move. Can't let him get a perfect. Well, we just did.
You round 2. Fight.
Nice. Yeah, Hihachi is just ridiculously overpowered for some reason. Like, he should be as the final boss, but just like, please, at least give me a chance. Are we on a space station? Is that what this has come to? We're going to do this if it takes all night.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
There we go. He just comes back from the brink of defeat to just win.
Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
If we could win a round 1, then we'll have 2 chances to beat him. That's kind of my plan, is go hard in round 1, go home in round 2. He's just not allowing it though, he's just literally blocking everything. This is man on easy. Imagine Hihachi on ultra hard. It's just not happening. Go on, my son. That's a move and a half.
You win. Final round. Fight.
And then he hits us with the perfect.
You lose.
So my leg's gone incredibly dead, but apart from that,
For the next battle. Round 1. Fight.
I know we're good, we're good. We're good, we're good. Come on. Good. Yes! One more, one more. One more round, one more round.
Round 2. Fight.
Yes. 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 Boom. You've been Hihachi. Well, you've been Ravened, Hihachi. That was difficult.
I have new orders. Your target is the tournament sponsor, Jinpachi Mishima. Eliminate him. Over.
Jinpachi? What should
I'll
I
throw him
do
off a
with him?
cliff or something.
Let him go.
Understood. There's been a change of plans. Lucky you.
So I assume now we fight Jinpachi, who's going to be harder than Hihachi.
Get ready for the next battle.
Oh, look at him, old grandpa there. And he's glowing as well. I mean, wouldn't anyone try to prevent your resurrection, mate?
Raven here.
You don't look great.
Is this guy?
Jinpachi Mishima. Mankind will be exterminated if he is fully awakened. Kill him.
You're kidding. He's not even human.
We'll debrief you later. We're counting on you.
It's a big responsibility.
Now what?
Round 1. Fight.
We're just going to go all in with the same tactics we have for Hihachi. What was that? That was some sort of laser beam from his chest. Yeah, that's going to be worth avoiding those.
Fight.
Just when you thought Tekken 5 couldn't get much harder.
Next battle.
No worries, Mike. We're going to try and beat Jinpachi,
1.
hopefully while you're gone. Otherwise, nothing will have happened. We've just got to avoid being hit by this absolute energy blast that he does. But also all of his other attacks. Nice, trill in his face. Kick him, do him, yes, come on. One more, one more.
Fight.
This fight is absolute chaos. I don't know how you're supposed to tell what's going on.
You final round. Fight. You lose. Continue.
Well, I did say we were going to beat a story mode, so we might just have to beat a story mode here.
Round 1. Fight.
See it, tripping his face, do a flippy thing, do a flippy thing, do a flippy thing.
You lose. Round 2. Fight.
As easy as it is to see that coming, it's not that easy to block. I don't know whether we have to like duck or move out the way. I'm not entirely sure what they want us to do with that.
Round 1. Fight.
It does like all of our health as well.
Round 2. Fight.
We have got some strats. It's not like
You continue.
we're not damaging him. It's just
Ready for the next battle.
if he does the big energy blast thing, we're dead. So
Fight.
even if you move backwards immediately, like that's what happens. So I don't know what's best really here. Just lots of flips. Lots of well-timed flips. Come on. Oh, we were so close.
Round 2. Fight.
I'm literally frozen. I can't even move when he does that.
You continue. Get ready for the next battle.
In all of the absolute unfair
1.
Tekken ending battles, this is really up there. Well, I get a final boss is supposed to be hard, but you're telling me this is on easy?
Fight.
Like, we can damage him, just not consistently at all. Like, sometimes he just won't do that much attacking, and then other times he'll literally just bite your head off immediately.
You continue.
I need some wires in chat for encouragement.
Round 1. Fight. You round 2. Fight.
There's just no way you can like move out the way of that energy blast.
You continue. Get ready for the next battle. Round 1. Fight. You round 2. Fight.
Nah, Jinpachi's broken. This is...
You continue.
it's too much. Like, easy mode is just... Yeah, no one was able to stop you. Humankind is doomed. I get it, you know. It's no problem. Don't cry about it, man. Like, that's what you wanted, right?
Game over.
I'm going to do a team battle to end because I feel like that was a bit anticlimactic. So we're going to do a team battle. We're going to do 4 players per team. We're going to have King, Hwoarang, Marduk, and Nina.
Get ready for the next battle.
So yeah, it seems like Tekken 5, I don't know, it's not my favourite. It's been the story battle mode, especially like any up against Jinpachi, it's just, he's too powerful. Like these kind of battles, we're doing fine, and then like Jinpachi just undefeatable. He did far too much damage. You couldn't block his attacks. Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's a bit of a cop-out when the rest of the game's kind of good. The Tekken Force mode stuff is good.
Final round. Fight.
But it was the first, I guess, experiment with being able to customize your characters, fight money, all that sort of stuff. So they really get it right with later Tekkens, and I suppose this is where it all started in terms of proper modern Tekken. We're going to try and damage Nina as much as possible before we get KO'd.
You lose. Get ready for
On to Hwoarang. He's going to have to do it for us.
Final round. Fight.
She's broken my head. She's broken my head. It's all gone badly. Nice, we've broken her head back. She's too strong. Come on, Marduk. Show her what for.
Final round. Fight.
We need some health left because Marduk's our third guy.
Get ready for the next battle.
Zhao Yu time.
Final round.
Here goes.
Fight.
We're going to pick her up and break her leg. Seems like we're kind of too tall to hit her. Like, I don't know, none of our attacks seem to be doing much. I know she was blocking, but like, it wasn't even blocks, we were just missing there. Alright, time for Nina. It's weird, I think most of the team battles we've done in Tekken we've lost, and I don't know why. It just seems to be a thing, like tradition, Ney loses the team battle. It doesn't look set to change. Well, there we go. That's our entire team. So yeah, that was Tekken 5. Harder than we expected. It's a little bit different to the other Tekkens, which kind of threw me off a bit, but no excuses. I'm not great at it. So that's going to just about do it for the stream. Thank you for joining me. If you have enjoyed this or you're watching the VOD, subscribe, follow, whatever sites you're on. And yeah, have a good evening. See you next time in the Armbar Arcade.